Well-being, building the agile business through digital entrepreneurship. The scope for this conference are marketing management, financial management, human resource management, operation management, entrepreneurship, and management information system. Currently, creative commerce is the most influential sector of the global economy with a powerful transformative force for sustainable business development. Therefore, there are many sectors on products and services that represent creative content, technologies, cultural value, and market objectives. These sectors rely on idea, knowledge, skill, and traditional livelihood. I hope that this conference will allow the participants a productive discourse not only in managing business operations, but also in managing creative and business development. Since the digital entrepreneurship in developing countries relies deeply on informal sector, the key success factors that contribute to new pathway for digital entrepreneurship development are the availability of infrastructure and labor resources, the existence of legislation protecting intellectual property, and also the availability access to global markets. In this regard, new fields and domains in digital entrepreneurship in its relation with the sustainable business development need to be explored, examined, and discussed further to understand how local business are shaped by and shaping the global business. For this reason, we will hold an international conference and invite the whole scholars from all over the world to discuss about these issues. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time. I sincerely hope that you will enjoy the next 2 days of debate and networking. Thank you for your participation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is company profile video of the Faculty of Management Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. So please enjoy the video.
Menjadi orang tuamu adalah anugerah terindah untuk ayah. Memastikan engkau tumbuh besar dan kuat. Menemanimu melihat dunia yang seakan tak ada batasnya. Apapun akan ayah lakukan untukmu menggapai angan. Mendidikmu agar engkau tidak tersesat. Ketika waktunya telah tiba, engkau menjadi dewasa. Untuk itu, ayah selalu menginginkan pendidikan yang terbaik untukmu.
Hari-hari baru saat ini kujalani, bertemu teman-teman baru, pengetahuan yang baru, di mana aku melihat lebih luas cakrawala ilmu. Sebuah tempat di mana pengetahuan dan kehidupan melebur menjadi satu. Langkah ini merupakan pilihan terbaik untukku dan masa depanku. Aku ingin berkontribusi dalam memajukan perekonomian negeri dengan menjadi insan wirausaha muda mandiri. Sebagai universitas yang unggul dan islami, muda mendunia, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta merupakan perguruan tinggi dengan akreditasi A, serta memiliki akreditasi internasional QS Star, menjadi pilihan terbaik dalam membangun karakter diri dan kemampuan bersaing di era global. Dengan sistem perkuliahan serta kehidupan sosial di kampus telah dirancang seimbang guna menghasilkan lulusan unggul dalam pengembangan teknologi yang berlandaskan nilai-nilai keislaman. Program studi manajemen dan bisnis sebagai salah satu program studi dengan akreditasi A di Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, menghadirkan pendidikan yang terus berkembang dalam memenuhi kebutuhan masyarakat. Menjadi bagian dari Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, setiap program senantiasa diarahkan kepada peningkatan kualitas lulusan yang berintegritas. Program Studi Manajemen dan Bisnis menerapkan kurikulum pendidikan tinggi berbasis KKNI yang diimbangi dengan pengembangan infrastruktur dan teknologi informasi guna meningkatkan prestasi mahasiswa. Hal ini dilakukan untuk mewujudkan tujuan program studi manajemen dan bisnis untuk menghasilkan sumber daya manusia yang memiliki kemampuan manajerial dan jiwa entrepreneur. Untuk mendukung tercapainya tujuan pembelajaran, Prodi Manajemen dan Bisnis UMY menerapkan e-learning sebagai sarana penunjang perkuliahan. Melalui e-learning, mahasiswa bisa secara aktif dan interaktif melakukan self-learning, mengakses materi perkuliahan, online quiz, dan diskusi dengan dosen. Segala fasilitas penunjang yang dibutuhkan mahasiswa dihadirkan guna mendukung pengembangan pengetahuan dan juga kenyamanan di lingkungan program studi manajemen dan bisnis. Dengan didukung pendidikan soft skill, pengasah kemampuan berbahasa juga mendorong mahasiswa untuk berpikir kreatif dan inovatif, membuat lulusan program studi manajemen dan bisnis mampu berkompetisi di berbagai bidang kerja. Dengan kemampuan berwirausaha, lulusan program studi manajemen dan bisnis dapat menciptakan lapangan pekerjaan. Dengan bekal itu, program studi manajemen dan bisnis Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta mampu mencetak mahasiswa-mahasiswa berprestasi. Hal inilah yang membuat animo masyarakat untuk mendaftar pada program studi manajemen dan bisnis UMY dari tahun ke tahun selalu meningkat dengan lulusan yang berintegritas. Program studi manajemen dan bisnis memiliki keyakinan bahwa setiap individu memiliki kesempatan yang sama untuk maju. Karena itu, program studi manajemen dan bisnis menawarkan berbagai program beasiswa dari internal maupun eksternal. Sejalan dengan hal tersebut, usaha untuk meningkatkan kepercayaan masyarakat dan pengguna terus dilakukan. Antara lain dengan menjalin kerjasama dengan lembaga dalam dan luar negeri untuk pengembangan Tridharma perguruan tinggi.
Visi kami menjadi program studi manajemen rujukan di Asia Tenggara yang unggul di bidang manajemen dan entrepreneurship, bertumpu pada iman, takwa, ilmu pengetahuan dan teknologi pada tahun 2020.
Misi kami menyelenggarakan pendidikan manajemen strata 1 yang berorientasi global dan bertumpu pada penguatan iman, takwa, ilmu pengetahuan, dan teknologi.
Mendidik, mengembangkan, dan menghasilkan sumber daya manusia yang memiliki kemampuan manajerial dan entrepreneurship yang berlandaskan nilai-nilai Islam.
Menjalankan kegiatan penelitian dan pengabdian pada masyarakat sesuai bidang ilmu manajemen dalam mewujudkan rahmatan lil alamin.
Hari ini ayah menyaksikan sebuah cerita bahagia dalam lembar hidupmu. Langkah-langkah kita telah mengantarmu kepada kata dewasa, mengantarkanmu pada sebuah asa di mana kita sudah siap dalam menghadapi dunia.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next agenda is plenary session 1 that will be delivered by Mr. Ismail Fahmi, PhD, as the founder of Drone Emprit from PT Media Kernels Indonesia. And the moderator for our keynote speaker is Mr. Muhammad Miftahun Nazir, BA, MBA. Before we start the plenary session, let me read the CV of Mr. Miftah. Mr. Miftah is the lecturer of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. He finished his first bachelor degree at the Bachelor of Arts of Business Administration University of East London, and for the master degree, he finished at Master of Business Administration Universitas Gadjah Mada. Okay, right now I will try to connect with Mr. Miftah. Hello, Mr. Miftah. Good morning.
Very good morning, Faika.
Okay, you can hear my voice, right?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, nice. So, Mr. Miftah, today you will become the moderator for Mr. Ismail Fahmi as the founder from Drone Emprit from PT Media Kernels Indonesia. Mr. Miftah, are you for today's session?
Yeah, I'm so ready with that.
Okay, so for Mr. Miftah, the time is yours.
All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We're now in the session of plenary. So the first plenary will be delivered by Mr. Ismail Fahmi. And I would like to call our first keynote speaker, Mr. Ismail Fahmi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Vita.
Okay, thank you very much. So, welcome to this international conference. Firstly, I would like to read the CV of Mr. Ismail Fahmi, Dr. Ismail Fahmi, PhD. Dr. Ismail Fahmi is a founder of Drone Emprit, and it belongs to the PT Media Kernel Indonesia. I'm still waiting for the CV of Dr. Fahmi. All right. So Ismail Fahmi, PhD, is the founder of PT Media Kernels Indonesia, and he is the founder of Drone Emprit. And he is also the lecturer of in Universitas Islam Indonesia in the informatics engineering for master program, and also he is a consultant for National Library of Indonesia, or Perpusnas, as well as consultant in various organizations internationally like BV Amsterdam and Weborama in France. So, without further ado, let's move to the speech of Dr. Ismail Fahmi. Please, the time is yours, Pak Ismail.
Thank you very much, Mr. Miftah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank to the committee of the ICOMS 8th International Conference on Management Science. I think this one is organized by University of Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Yeah. And I would like to share in this very good opportunity some of my research using the tool that I developed using a big data. So I would like to contribute a little bit maybe in the discussion related to digital entrepreneurship. So the title of my presentation will be about data-driven market intelligence for digital entrepreneurship. Okay, if the operator, you can share my presentation, will be great. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, please next to the next screen. Yeah. So this is what me. Let's move forward, please. Okay. Okay, so the next, please. Okay, yes. Okay, I will talk about this maybe in 30 minutes, and after that we have a discussion. I will start with the challenge that we have, especially post-pandemic after COVID-19, and then how we do the market intelligence using data, so data-driven market intelligence. There are two types of market research, using primary and secondary, and the last one, I would like to focus on the big data. The big data for the secondary research, where we will use social media as our data source. Okay, next, please. Okay, next. Yes, a little bit about us, about me. The Drone Bread is actually not a company that built drone, but it is a company that I built especially in making big data from the social media and online news. We can get insights, and the insight that we can get, this one can be for any topics. And for example, this one, my system is being used by the Ministry of Communication and Information of Republik Indonesia to monitor the conversation related to pornography, negative content, and so on. And it will be very great and a great help as well for them to find negative content for them to take it on, negative account especially to take down, and many others. Okay, next, please. And it is also being used by the Ministry of Defense of Indonesia to monitor quite a lot of conversation, especially related to ideology, economy, and everything related to defense. Yeah. And because, you know, in social media, we can have a lot of conversation, and some of them can be very challenging for our country, especially if related to threats. So the threat is not only physical threats now, but also related to cyber threats. Okay, next. And not only for the central government, but this one also being used by West Java province. This is an example I just would like to share here, that using big data here, you can see it is a dashboard for West Java. They call them this Pico bar, like the center of Java command, Java information, something like that. And so they can see how the policy that's being used by the province, by the governors, executed, and how the citizens there, especially in West Java and other places, have influence, have opinion about them, about the policy. So they can have almost real-time feedback. So this feedback will be very useful for them to maybe they want to adjust the implementation of the policy, something like that. Okay, next. Okay, next. I would like to talk about the challenge that we have. And yes, next, please. What we have now when we talk about digital entrepreneurship. First, when I have this topic, I'm thinking about the definition. What is the definition of digital entrepreneurship? And I found several definitions. One of the definitions said, maybe this very narrow, is that where you can have like a business but you don't have physical shop, physical presentation, for example. So you use completely digital. So in this case, the best example is using marketplace. So you don't have a physical place, right? But you put all your stuff on the marketplace, and then you try to make a business of it. And many others, like for example, you have the content, digital content you put on YouTube and other places. And so this is one definition of digital entrepreneurship, that you become entrepreneur using a digital content and internet especially. But there is also definition of this digital entrepreneurship. Maybe this one is more appropriate, more related to us here. That here you have a business and you use digital things, can be digital information that from the internet, using the transaction, using the internet traffic and so on, for your own business, for your existing business. So your business can be not only virtual, but can be physical as well. So I think here that we would like to talk, because there will be a lot of challenge here, and especially the post-pandemic, the trend is like this. So you can see that there are a double in digitalization. The double trend in digitalization. People start to really use digital information, digital platform, digital tool to offer their stuff, to offer their services. So they want to get more opportunity here. So you see that not only big companies here, but also a small, medium company, or maybe you, maybe some of you are a student and you start to have your own company, you have the same opportunity, yeah, okay, in the quote, the same opportunity, because everybody can have access to internet. As long as you have access to internet, you can do that. And the second one is the accelerated automation. Because because of the pandemic, people start to work from home, and they have like a habit now. They have habit to work virtually, because they think that, okay, I think working virtually or to work from home can be very effective and efficient. So there's some acceleration, and we thought that this kind of acceleration in the automation can be done in the next several years, but this happened faster, yeah. Faster because of the pandemic. And the next one is also increasing emphasis on sustainability. So you know that this is very interesting, that when I read now the investor, if they want to have what's called a new startup, so not only the growth that they want to get, but also the profit. Not only looking for the growth and neglecting the profit, and that usually with the growth they expect to have IPO, right? And then from the IPO they can have the capital gain because of selling the share, the increase of the share price. But not only that, now more people try to find the company that can make a benefit, make profit. So sustainability is very important here. And it's not only for the company, but also for the environment. So, and then you can see that scaling up the small, medium enterprises. So in this case, you can see that we have a small, medium enterprise, and how we can scale this up. We can see some discussion, experiences, and example how small cafe shop, for example, and then they can open 700 stalls, okay? In a short period, maybe in 1 month, 6 months, and so on. So because of the pandemic, so many opportunity appear there. So this is trend that we can find here, and all related to digital entrepreneurship. And so I think it's very good opportunity for you. Next. Okay. Now the question is that how we win the competition, because then everybody has the opportunity, and then so you will compete with everybody. There's one thing interesting, that when I learn about digital citizenship. So if you learn whether our country, Indonesia, is ready with digital competitiveness, there is a digital competitiveness index. I forgot to put it into my presentation here, but the digital competitiveness of our country is very low compared to other Southeast Asia countries, for example, Malaysia, Philippines, and others. So actually, there are 3 steps in order to our citizen, our country, ready for digital competitiveness. The first one is digital citizenship. So we are ready to use the internet to learn for the good things. Okay. The second one is digital creativity. After we learn, then we can create something. And it is not necessary that you can build a company here, but as long as you can create something from the digital, you can create the content, you can create a product. So it means that you are creative. And the next step, you can make a company. Then you come to the third level to have like a digital competitiveness. Yeah. So your digital competitiveness will be increased. So this is what we expect actually. When we talk about digital entrepreneurship, then we will talk about competitiveness. And in order to win competition, then we have the business ideas. Right? We have creativity. We try to find something creative, something good in our business compared to the others. Okay, next. And next. Okay, next. Okay, then this is the question that we would like to answer, how we approach that. And we propose, and especially in this presentation, I propose to have, you have like a data-driven market intelligence. In this case, you have market research, right? And you, let's say you are entrepreneurs and you have a market, and then you do research there. I think as simple as this one. Okay, next. Okay, there are two types of market research. The first one is a primary research, and the second one is a secondary research. So what are all of these? So the primary research, you have like a focus group discussion. So you collect people, and then you want them to talk about your product, about your company. So it's very specific for your own, for your business. Or you can do the research survey. You can formulate your survey specifically for your product, and or interview. Okay? And of course, the cost is more expensive, okay? And then it might be it's pricey because you have to spend money for each of this process. And the second one is the secondary research. It is free, yeah? And if you have to spend, maybe the cost is very low. But the issue is that the result is not specific for your company. The result can be general. For a business, for example, related to gastronomy, about the food, okay, or about other business, okay, and so it's not specific for that for your business, but you can have some insight there. Both of these are useful, so I think this approach can be used in order to you can win the competition. Okay, next. Okay, next. Okay, let's start with the primary research. What is this? And just an example that, for example, if you are an entrepreneur, so you have a restaurant and it's been running for 1 or 2 years, and you start to see the first time the customer is increased, it's very good, but in the second year, maybe there was a drastic decline. Yeah? And you don't know what's the problem, what's the issue. And then you gather your employee, you ask your manager, you ask your staff, and so many opinion. Maybe they say that, okay, the price is very expensive compared to the others. We can see there are new shop just in front of us, and the price is very low. And the variety of your menu maybe is not much, and maybe the ambient of the restaurant, the atmosphere is not nice. So there's so many opinion. So in this case, you got confused, right? Okay, next. And then here, you need the data. Next. So you do the survey. Just for example, in the survey, you try to make a specific questions list, specific questionnaire. You ask your customer whether they're satisfied or not. If satisfied, because of what? If not, because of what? And then maybe you do a kind of a FGD, and so it might be more serious. And in the FGD, you invite people, maybe some of the customers, some other expert in the restaurant and so on, and take a look at specific for your product. So in this case, it's very good. You have very specific result. You have very specific insight, and again, you can see that you use data. So not only insight or gut, but you use data. And data is very important here, especially in the digital sphere, right? In digital, especially if you become like a digital entrepreneur. Okay, next. And now let's see the second approach. Okay, next. In the secondary research, you don't use your primary data, so you don't have any data related specifically for yourself, for your company. And first of all, you have like a craft, okay, a craft shop. You a craft entrepreneur. You sell handicraft and all over Indonesia. And now you want to open it. You want to extend it, not only Indonesia, but you want to export it, for example, to Europe or other country. And of course, you can imagine if you want to, let's say, open a stall there, a shop of a handicraft shop in Europe, for example in Netherlands. I was there for 10 years, so I know actually a little bit. But you are in Indonesia, so you don't know exactly how it looks like. And if you have to send some people to go there, maybe it takes a lot of money, maybe, okay, and maybe you still small, medium enterprise, and so you want to avoid that. So how to do that? So you can do the secondary data. For example, the existing research might be done by the government, and might be other information on the internet, and then you look at the permit, the necessary matters in how to open a stall, and so on and so on. So you get a lot of information, you learn about that, and then you're ready to open it. Okay, and so gathering information from research data, from other articles, it is cheap, it is free, okay? And then mostly free actually, and you don't have to pay a lot. Maybe sometimes you have to buy data, but you can have this. So this is also important. The secondary research is very important as well. It can help your own business, and especially now. Okay, but please next. Especially now in the internet, you can do this secondary research easily. Next, please. And you can read all resources from the internet. Okay, and you can read. For example, you can see. Okay, that's nice handicraft shop, and on the Instagram you go there and you see what are the product, what are the comments of the visitor there, and then you learn from it. And it is not related to what your own product, what other people's product, but it is free. The data is there, so you can learn about it. And of course, there are some limitations about this secondary research because it is not related to yours, probably the situation can be different. Okay? And then when you implement the result of your own research, maybe you will find specific problem that you cannot see before. But again, it is a good start, secondary research, for you to open possibility to extend your business worldwide. Okay, next. Okay, and these are some examples of the sources that you can use for your secondary research, like books, magazine, indexes, database, especially internet, market consultant, marketing professional. So they are all have data, I think, and then you can try to find ones or more that related to your business. Next. Okay, and next. I would like to give an example that we can use social media. Next, please. For the secondary research. Why it is very important? Because if you look at this one, this is the growth of data. We talk about digital entrepreneurship, right? And so we talk about data. We talk about the internet, and the growth of data in the internet is like this. So there are two types of data: structured data and unstructured data. The structured data is the data on the database, on your Excel tables. You know, it is really structured into columns. You have number, description, the price, and address, phone number, and so on. So all of them are structured. So only 20%. And the rest, 80%, is unstructured data. Okay, next. And what are the unstructured data? And next, please. The unstructured data, for example, is this one, social media. So you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, and everything on the internet. And you have also other unstructured, some of them are sensor and device. You have CCTV and so on, okay? Maybe it's not really relevant, but take a look at the social media. Text, when you type things on Twitter or Instagram, actually it is unstructured. It's just text, okay? Language, sentence. You cannot make column on over it. You can make the column as a subject and predicate object or something like that. No, it's very difficult. You need a kind of technology to change the unstructured data become structured data. But you can learn from it, and you can use this for free. Actually, this kind of data. Okay, next. And okay, all of these are the source for the unstructured data. Okay? And the growth in Indonesia is increasing, especially TikTok. Okay, the TikTok is increasing, and TikTok's it was in 2020 is very small, only 25%, and but I heard in 2022. TikTok start to surpass Instagram. So it's very good source actually if you want to learn the opportunity from TikTok. And of course from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and others. Okay, next. And I have a nice example here that's been done by Nivea. Okay, a company like this, usually when they make a new product, what they did, they do survey. They survey, is there any new product at the trend among men, among women, for example, what they like, and they have FGD, focus group discussion. They have money, they can do whatever they want to get market research. But this one is interesting. They want to make a new deodorant. And what they found is that, okay, please, next. They go to blog posts, they go to social media, they go to forums, and they found there's some discussion there about deodorant antiperspirant stains. I remember when I was maybe primary school, not primary school, elementary school, senior high school, junior high school there, if I use deodorant, and I remember that there was stains, okay, the number of like stains like white color on your armpit, okay, and then on your dress, and it's not nice, right? And in the internet, people start to find some formula and they sell it. Among them, they create it themselves and then they sell it. So not big company like Nivea that make that, but people start to talk about that. And what Nivea did, and they start to look at this conversation. They found this is very big business, okay? And the opportunity is huge. They can find on sport, they can find among people that like about hobbies and interests, fashion, beauty, lifestyle, everything. They talk about this. Okay. And next, what they do then? So Nivea, they don't have to do the survey or do the FGD, but using this data, they create this product. Nivea Pure Invisible. Okay. I don't intend as the marketer for Nivea, okay? But this is just an example. Okay? This nice example. So they use data from the internet to make new product. Okay, next. Okay, then next. Let's how you can do that now. Okay, how you can do that. For example, if you are a small medium enterprise, or maybe you are research. Maybe or your company, you have a research team or something like that. Yeah? And then you can use this kind of big data system. This is an architecture from my own system. Basically, it's simple actually that you have the data source from the online news, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You crawl the data according to the keyword that you want, and then you process that. And please next. And let's see what are the analytics that you need. For example, this one. So you can have an analytic about the topics, what people talk about, okay? And then you have the influencers who talk about that, and whether they are from sports people or from entertainment and just lay people or professional. So you can see that among those influencers and netizens, you can see, okay, this kind of people like to talk about this. And you just start to see some of the conversation related to your product or your business. So this kind of analytic that you can do on the data from the internet, especially from social media. Okay, next. Okay, this is just for architecture. If you want to develop your own, of course, it is very expensive. Like in this case, you need 12 servers. This is in my case. I have 12 servers. And as mentioned before, I work with the University of Islam Indonesia, and I develop a drone-based academic, especially for the academic. So you don't have your own server. You can subscribe there, you become the researcher, and then you can use the service that we provide for free. And the data source only for Twitter. It is free for Twitter. So you can type any keyword there, okay, and then you can have an insight. What about if you don't have this kind of technology? And you can try to find the free version, Google Trend, for example, and there are some other on the internet that they can provide free social media analytics, or you can do your own. Okay? You can ask one of the student from computer science in your department, for example, to pull the data, okay? Because the tools are there on the internet, the tools are free. Okay, next, please. Yeah. And this is the flow that you need. You start with the keyword. The keyword can be the name of your product, or might be the name of your company if you want to see what people talk about the company. If your company is already popular enough, okay. And the product can be not your product, but maybe if you talk about ketoprak or satay, it's Indonesian food. Just if you write that one, of course, maybe not about your own product, but can be for any name of these foods. Okay, but you can see the competition there. What people mostly like about this kind of food, and what they don't like about this kind of food. So this will give you a feedback on how to improve your own. And once you use the keyword, you populate the data, you can do the analysis. You can do the sentiment analysis to have a positive emotion, a negative emotion, a negative sentiment, what their opinion about things, and whether it is from bots. Of course, you have to differentiate between it is bots, bot computer and computer program that just send. Of course, you don't want that opinion. You want to get from the real people to talk about, because you want to have a real opinion. On demography analysis, whether it's man or woman, the age, and so on, we can do that sometimes from Facebook and Twitter. And then you do the visualization. You make a map and so on to make your data readable, so you can get insight easily from this data from using visualization. Okay, next, please. And of course, you have some research question using. I think mostly the situation is specific for your product, right? Whether I want to make a new product, and now who are selling this product and what they sell, what kind of quality of type of the product that they sell. And this is an example. You do the market research online. Okay, next. And this is an example of the analysis. You can see the trend. Okay, maybe you have an idea. Okay, this is very good product, I think. You believe this is a good product, but take a look at the conversation. Is the trend still high? Is the trend is increasing, or the trend is decreasing? So you are not only based on your feeling, but most importantly, you use data easily and for free from the conversation of people on the internet, from the Twitter, Instagram. Twitter is very easy. And probably from the news. News also, you can crawl data. You can have social network analysis. I will show some example later. The actor who talk about that, the narrative, and so on. Okay, next, please. And okay, next. For the data collection, if you use Twitter, I have shown the workflow before, right? And this is an example of the interface in my system, the drone-based interface. You just type the keywords. For example, since in this example, we help PPS, Indonesian Statistic Bureau, to get conversation about census penduduk. So all the keyword related, we use that. So actually it's the same. If you have the product, all related keyword, you use that to crawl the data. Because of course, you cannot get all the conversation from Twitter. You want to have specific conversation from the Twitter. Okay, next. And this one's the keyword. So not all the data that you have collected, for example, using the keyword, you have the tweet, and then you put it into the data lake, and maybe you need to filter only specific data, that valid data you can use. So sometimes you have to filter out. For example, your keyword is too general, and you get all the data, not only in Indonesian language, but maybe in Malaysia, in English, and so on. And if you only want to get conversation from Indonesian, of course, you need to get the data only in Bahasa Indonesia, right? So you discard all the conversation in English, in other language. So here come the filters. The keyword will give you everything related to the keyword, but the filter will give you only specific data that are meaningful for you. Okay, next. And if you use the Twitter, you get the data for free in the last 7 days only. But if you want to get more data back, for example, to last 1 year, 2 years, and so on, more than 7 days, Twitter provide paid archive, so you have to pay. And there's some other way actually, which is free, but this one is using the paid version. Is easy as long as you have money. But you, of course, you can get a little bit more difficult and free in the last for the last couple of years. Okay, next. This is, I want to show you the data. The data is there. You can do research. For example, if you want to pay, this is the price, and quite expensive, like $100 US, you can get only 50,000 tweets. This is a very small number. And usually for one conversation, I can get hundreds of thousands conversations. You can see, can imagine the price. But $100 US, 1.5 million rupiah maybe is not much. And then if you spend, okay, just 10 million for this data, it's okay, but you have nice data to start your research. Okay. 10 million, if you do the survey, FGD, it's nothing, it's not enough. Okay. But still the price using this one is still much cheaper. Okay, next. Okay, this is an example. If you want to use the free search, if you start the search, you can get free for only the last 7 days. And then from the time you collect the data and forward, you can get it for free. This is an example for Twitter. You can do this for other social media. Okay, next. I will make it fast. And okay, let's take an example. Watch. Yeah. Okay, I did this example for small medium enterprises, and then they asked me, how can I use the data because I'm a seller, I'm a watch seller. I want to see what we can get the insight from Twitter. So I just type keywords jam tangan in bahasa Indonesia, okay, and then I got all the conversation related to jam tangan or watches in English, and I got this map. Because this map is social network analysis, I can see the map of the people that talk about that. So we can see cluster of people are there on top. Okay, there are 3 top influencers and they're related to each other. But I'm interested in one on the right below, in the middle. It is from Sophie, from Sophie. And if I click that, actually there is a posting recommended watch from the local brand. Okay. And then I deep down into the data. Okay. So from thousands of conversations, you can see here like 24,000. You can, with this system, you can see one that are very meaningful, and maybe you want to look at it. Okay, next. And what you can see, okay, this is this a posting, and quite a lot of people are interested in this posting. Why are they interested on this? Okay, next, please. And if I look at this is the posting. Actually, apparently, this is the local brand, and I don't know if you are a watch seller. Maybe you know, oh, this is very interesting. I would like to sell this as well because people love this. Okay, so you can see the comment. And for example, Salsa say, okay, I want this watch. I want to collect this watch. Okay, and the other one also want to have that watch, but they don't have money. So they express their desire. They express their interest on this kind of watch. And this one is not an international brand, it's a local brand. But you can get this information from where? From social media, from big data. So you can get this. Okay, next please. Okay, and this one, we can see so many watches, and you can do more on this. Okay, next, I would like to end my presentation. Okay, and go on, please. Okay, you can see from the Instagram. Next. Okay, on the TikTok as well. Yeah, next. And okay, next, for example, this one for gastronomy. Okay, you can have the how people sell during the COVID-19. Okay, next, please. You can see the trend, and from the news, you can see what people sell, what are their situation, how the small medium they try to be stay in the business. Okay, next. Okay, and this is, for example, in January 2020, before the pandemic, you can see most of the posting on Twitter are still offline. Okay, you visit the place and then you buy things there. Okay, next. And April, you can remember, March is the beginning of COVID-19. April, you can see people to start to sell it online. So you can see the difference before COVID-19, during COVID-19, what people sell. So you can do the research, the trend, the behavior of people on the internet. Okay, next. And in January on Instagram, still the same. Okay, still offline. January 2020, before COVID. Next, you can see people they eat there. But in April 2020, Instagram the same. People start to sell things right on the internet. Okay, next. And next, okay. You want to have an idea of what to sell. Okay, so I use the keyword jual, menjual, sell, to sell something. I want to see the expression that people sell something, and then I want to see what they sell. Okay, next, and this is what we got. I got the trends quite a lot. You can see here. In one day, we can have 17,000 conversation on Twitter and Instagram, also a lot. And next, the keyword is jual or dijual. So you can see here the images. This list of images that people sell. You can see nice Netflix. Okay, there you have a mobile phone. You can have other food. You can sell handicraft. You can see what are the most popular thing people sell. So you can see also what are people sell. And of course, if you want to see whether I have something to sell, whether people really sell that or not. If still there are so many people, so then you have a big competition, right? You need something new, and then you can do the research, what people sell, and then how it looks like, and how you want your product to be different than others. Okay, next. Okay, these are the keywords that you can see from Twitter, for example, view, cheese, Netflix, sepatu, or Canva, baju, shop, laptops, Spotify. It's very interesting. The people they sell Spotify, Netflix things. They sell what? There's so many people. They sell the subscription. Okay? You can I have my own subscription, but maybe some people they cannot pay using credit card or something. They get difficulty in directly buying subscription from Spotify. So people start selling it. So I think Indonesia is very creative in this case. Maybe this one is illegal. It's not expected to be, but it works. Okay, next. Okay, this is in Instagram. You can see what people sell. Next. And this one are the keyword almost the same, Netflix, Spotify. So on Twitter, on Instagram, people sell almost the same. There's also like MS Glow. In the beginning, I didn't know what's my MS Glow. Now I just know what is that. Okay, so there are the product related to what's that? Cosmetic or something. Right? Next. Okay, so this is finally conclusion. Digital entrepreneurs absolutely need market research or market intelligence. Okay, and then there are two types of research, primary and secondary. Primary research has an advantage because directly output specific to your product, and of course, this is expensive. And secondary research, it is cheaper and faster, but the output is too general and maybe more general. It's not directly to yours. And for the secondary research, this can be done using social media analysis. So you can get the data for free, and then you get insight for your own and try to find the target audience there. Okay, next. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much. This is my presentation. My apologies if it takes more time, and then I return the screen to moderator. Thank you.
All right, so thank you very much for the speech, Dr. Ismail Fahmi. It was very insightful for your speech, and it seems like you have everything, right? I mean, like you own all the data and you can do everything with that, right? So I emphasize some elements here. So I can see that nowadays big data is actually the gold mine that everyone should aware with that. And if we want to be a digital entrepreneur, yeah, we have to aware about the competition, because you know the competition in digital world is so tight, and we have to know our value to be noticed by our potential customer or potential audience. And yeah, so this is the Q&A session, and I would like to call the participant to join in this discussion. Please, anyone? Maybe you can raise your hand. Yeah, Dr. Udin, you raise your hand. Please, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the moderator. Dr. Ismail Fahmi has explained about the importance of data, how to be a digital entrepreneur in this recent era. But the problem is, in my opinion, the problem is we sometimes we have a difficult when we get as many as much data from the, for example, in the Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. It's very difficult for us to clarify where is the valid data, the reliable data to be analyzed for our product, because sometimes this is data is a hoax and this is a true data. So the question is how to verify the data, Dr. Fahmi.
Okay, shall I answer directly, Mr. Moderator?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Udin, for the question. It is very important, and indeed, garbage in, garbage out, right? That is this very, very important saying in the big data. If we have garbage data, and then the result will be garbage as well. And especially in the system that I built, there are bots and people and trend and patterns. So actually, using big data analytics, we try to find a pattern here, and the pattern can be important in explaining whether it is a bot or not. And second one, it is by buzzers or not, and something like that. And from that one, this one example on why this is especially we can differentiate between the actual one and not one. And for you, for example, for the small medium enterprises, for most people, if you don't have the tools like that we built, what we can see, for example, if we look at the comments and we want to see whether the comment is correct or not, you can take a look at the profile of the people. Okay, first of all, you have the products, okay, and then you sell it on the Instagram or whatever, and then you get the comment. The comment can be positive or negative, okay, and you maybe have a question. It is sincere, or maybe just people try to say something bad, and just look at the profile, and then you can see whether they have a tendency, a trend to do the same on other products, to do the same, or they say whatever things. And on the internet, quite often, some netizens, some account, they try to say something, but actually not correct actually. And some other, or they notice them, okay, you are lying, because in other cases, in other situation, you say about that thing, other thing. Okay, just for example, I give a good example. There was somebody, they say that they was from Institute of Technology Bandung, ITB. Okay. And they try to criticize someone from ITB. Okay, and next time if you go to ITB, I will ospect you or something like that. And in other cases, he said that I'm from UNPAD. In other cases, he said that I'm from any university. So it's just an example. And we can look at, because his opinion is very popular, people start to like it, share it, and so on. And finally, no, you say not what you say is not correct. It's just an example that we can try to validate data. And second one is also, you can see, I know sometimes ago when I was in Netherlands for 10 years, and I have friends that they sell padang, rumah makan padang in Den Haag. And because of the presidential election, and in her opinion on the internet is against most of the buzzers in Indonesia, you know what happened? They sell their stall on the internet as well, right? And then by putting it on the Google, and then got the comments, okay, and then start the buzzers try to give negative comment, and the and start usually got 4 point something, now become 1. So it's trying to destroy it, and of course it's not good. This is not correct, and so it's very political. So then what they do is try to contact Google and then to fix again this thing. Okay? So yes, anything can happen on the social media, and we need to differentiate that. But actually, it is not impossible for us to see which one is sincere and which one is not. It is difficult, yes, it is sometimes difficult. But if we can get the right one, then we get insight. And one more thing is very important is that if we talk about big data, it's not always we talk about we need huge data. We can be only need small data, but it is correct. Okay? Small data, but true, it is very valuable. So when you have a lot of data, you can try to just pick up just few of them, but it is sincere, it is correct, and it's explaining about your product, and focus on that. And so this is called small data. So not only we talk about big data, but we shall talk about the small data. I think this is what I can say about this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I noticed a keyword from your answer that is the big data is not always a huge or bunch of data that have to be analyzed, but the validity of the data, even if it's small data, is more important. Yeah. So thank you for the answer, Dr. Ismail Fahmi. For the next one, please raise your hand. Okay, Mr. Taufik Akbar. Yes.
Good morning, Dr. Ismail. And okay, maybe this is not question. Maybe I just want to hear your opinion related with the digital entrepreneurship, maybe on a general. Yeah, maybe a little bit out of the context with your presentation, but. We know that the disruption of technology today is, it's moved further. We know that there are so many technology like, for like just an example, like the blockchain technology that can be used to market the product. Maybe the phenomena of non-fungible token, maybe when we see, and can be used to market the product because they're more safe and they can protect intellectual property, something like that. So that's why. I want to hear your opinion related the probability to maybe in the context of SME, the probability of SME to use the new technology, and maybe how they can use that technology to market the product. Is still possible that SME, because we know that there are so many maybe little problem with the adoption of technology in the SME context. Like the player is not ready, maybe like in Indonesia. Might be like that, Doctor. I want to hear your opinion related with the emerge of the new technology in the marketing context.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Taufik, for the question. I think it's very, very interesting, yeah, very important, that one, whether we need to follow might be the most extreme ones, that there's new technology, crypto technology, and NFT. I remember when I live in South Jakarta, and every week usually I go to a small supermarket near my home, and when I try to take something that I would like to buy, I listen some of the waiters there, SPG, they talk about crypto. Do you know about Bitcoin? Do you sell something Bitcoin or something? It's amazing, you know, that even me, I don't really like and trust in the crypto, but people there, they start to talk about that. And they work in the supermarket, and of course, I believe the money is not as much as the CEO, right? And what I remember, what I believe, that if you want to work in crypto currency and things, and you buy things, not using your important money, but you just unused money, right? But if they use that, maybe because of they're afraid to be left behind or something, because and somebody try to market them and so on, right? So I think this is very important for the small medium enterprises as well. Either we need to follow every technology or not. So your question is very important. In my opinion, the answer is not. The answer is that look at your own business and how you can grow it and grow the profits. As long as can grow the profits, go for it. If not, then don't care yet about it. For example, we have metaverse. Whether, okay, I need to follow metaverse, I need to make a appearance on the metaverse. No, it's not necessary like that. And cryptocurrency, whether I need to sell my product using cryptocurrency or whatever, or NFT, then you move to NFT. All of these is usually just a trend, a short trend. We don't know in the future. Can be, in my opinion, it is just a short period, maybe 1 month, 1 year, 2 years. It's very short. We need to be longer, right? In order to can change our strategy. Because if we talk about small medium enterprises, and if they want to adopt or follow the new technology, so it means that they work on very strategic decision, right? And the strategic decision need to be considered, and the most important is the profit, sustainability, whether your company will be sustained or not. If not, then it's not necessary to follow.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yeah, exactly. Like I think because the technology is maybe the use of technology is left is we have to concern also with the sustainability, because we will talking about efficiency as well, that the SME should achieve in their operation. So that's why maybe when the technology is changed and then they follow change, they follow maybe a little bit maybe more a little bit confusing for SME. So it will be impact on their way in they operate, and maybe in the profitability, like I said, like you're talking about the efficiency itself.
Yes, one thing maybe that I would like to add about that is that there are many new technology that really helpful. For example, marketplace, okay, the payment, and the network, so you can sell your product online. You can reach your new customer. You can make a new market, maybe in Europe and so on. All of these are available also in the internet, and I think as SME need to go for it. As I can show you in the beginning, the trend in the digital entrepreneurship is the last one, the fourth one, is how we can increase the scope of the small medium enterprises. Okay, so of course in this case we cannot use just normal and just common technology, common way that you have at this moment, right? I mean, we need to use what are the new technology at the disposal that we have that can increase that.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pak Taufik and Dr. Ismail for the discussion. And before we end this session, I think I would like to ask Dr. Fahmi about the suggestion for the startup to increase their awareness for the importance of knowing the market trends and knowing the market behavior, because this is very important. Sometimes the startup just run their business without knowing, let's say, the battlefield, right? So and the problem is sometimes they don't know how to do the simple online market research based on the platforms that they get used to it, or that they use that every day, something like that. So what's your suggestion, Dr. Fahmi, for the new business player, or or let's say like our student like that start their business, and before they run their business, they have they know the market behavior based on the online platform?
Okay, thank you for the question, and yeah, this is very, very important. If you, for example, follow my presentation, it seems that okay, we need to do market research with the data, and then we need to understand that. And I think in practical, for the new player of the small medium enterprises or startup, or even if you already have startup and you want to increase that, the best way to learn is to learn from those who have that experience. And on the internet, I saw quite a lot. There are some of them, for example, on Twitter, I saw my friend, they make like a workshop or something, and related to anything related to digital marketing, digital, whatever digital entrepreneurship, okay, related to digital entrepreneurship. You can say, for example, if you want to put your product and put it into your website or blog, and how to make it always on top of the search engine. So using SEO, right? Search engine optimization, how to do that practically. And then, for example, if you want to market your product using social media, how to do that correctly, nicely on Facebook, and it can be different on TikTok, can be different on Instagram or on Twitter. The way can be different. You learn from it in very practical way with the example, with friends, and you have project there. And I think this is the best way because in short period, maybe in 1 or 2 months, so you learn from those who experience directly, and not only on theoretical aspect. What I have present here is very theoretical, right? Even though I show some example, but in very practical. So once you finish that workshop, and then you have knowledge and skill. I think this is the one that is very important, and those kind of training will open the perspective. That's the most important. And usually we are afraid to extend our business, for example, internationally, because we don't know. We think that okay, this must be very difficult. That might be there are fierce and very strong competition, and we'll fail, and we don't know how to. For example, if you want to export, we don't know how to go there, right? But if you learn from those who had experience, you know, and you have that experience even before you do that. I think that's my suggestion to do so, and I have that experience before myself. Okay, when I developed my own company in the beginning, and I finished my PhD in 2009 in Amsterdam, and then I worked in Amsterdam, and I didn't choose big company to work. I chose a startup company, a small company. And why? Because I want to learn how to set up a company, and I learn from A to Z. I look at by myself. I met with my CEO almost every day. With a big company, maybe I don't have chance to meet the CEO, but I learned from it. And what I felt that, this is the way to make a startup. Then it's easy. I mean, I can do that. Then, so I have my own confidence. But if I work in a big company already, for example, Unilever or whatever, so when I finish that, I don't have that feeling that I dare enough to start my own company, because it's difficult to do the HR, payroll, tax, and so on, because the business is so big, right? So we need to change our mind. We need to expand our knowledge from training.
Very insightful speech, discussion, and all the things that we have from Dr. Ismail Fahmi. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Ismail Fahmi. And I hope we could have further collaboration, in any aspect. Thank you once again, Dr. Ismail Fahmi. And I'll give it back to the Master of Ceremony. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, stepping onto the following agenda is parallel preparation, and right now we would like to remind for all of the participants, please rename your Zoom account based on the format that already determined. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will have 4 parallel session for today. Before starting the parallel session, we will have 10 minutes break, and we will meet again at 9:35 a.m. Thank you. back, ladies and gentlemen. We will continue to the next agenda, and the next agenda is parallel session 1. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start the parallel session. Several rooms already divided for parallel session 1. The participant will be invited to the breakout room. Thank you.